Hey, yo, what is good YouTube, and happy 20th anniversary to Pokemon. Of course, for us here in North America, it's not 20 years, but I think it's about 18 years, right? Damn, I've been playing Pokemon for 18 years, man. So this here is my Pokemon story. I see a lot of people sharing theirs, and I figured I might as well do mine, you know. It kind of did change my life, so this is just me telling the story. I'm not great with intros and stuff, but just go ahead and listen, man. So I had this friend in elementary school who I met because my teacher didn't come to work that day. They just threw all the kids in her class in some other class. And I met some friend that was like near the end of 4th grade, and we hit it off. We were really, we were cool friends for the rest of the school year, and I didn't really see him at all that summer. And then of course the next school year began, and we were best friends again because we hit it off the year before. And I guess he got into this thing or this show, and it was called Pokemon. Now I'd never heard of it, and nobody else ever talked about it, but he told me that I should really check it out. And I was always, and to this day I kind of still am, that person that doesn't really jump into something because somebody tells me that it's cool. I need to hear it from other, I don't know, that's just the way I am for some reason. But finally I caved and I went to watch the show, and I'll never forget the first episode I saw. I also explained this in my 1K subscribers Q&A video, which I'll leave the link here if you guys want to watch that. First episode was the Clefairy and the Moonstone, I believe it's called. It was the Mount Moon episode, that's how I call it. It was the episode where Brock caught a Zubat, and Team Rocket tried to steal the Moonstone or something, and Brock and Ash double teamed Team Rocket with Zubat and Butterfree and completely demolished them. So as I said in the Q&A, that's the reason why I think Butterfree's awesome. It was mostly based on that episode alone, and a little bit more with the series because Ash's Butterfree is pretty good. So anyways, I got really into the show and I was watching it all the damn time. Weeks have gone by, maybe like a month and a half, and then my friend tells me, there's a video game. There's a Pokemon video game out, and I didn't know what it was for. I was hoping it was for like Sega or something. I didn't know Pokemon was a Nintendo thing. I only had a Sega Genesis back then. And he told me it was for Game Boy Pocket, and I was kind of upset because I didn't have one. But my birthday was the month before, and I had a little bit of money saved up. I just asked my mom if she could, chip in for the rest, even though she had already given me a birthday present, but she did help me out with that, so thanks, Mom. But she gave me the silver Game Boy Pocket. I'll never forget, it was black and white, and I got Pokemon Blue version. And my first Pokemon was Bulbasaur. I brought it everywhere with me, man. And at that age, every day after school, I would have to go to my aunt's salon because that was the only place that would take care of me for free. But it was boring as fuck in there, so I used to just always bring my Game Boy and just play Pokemon Blue for like 4, 5 straight hours, man, and just catch Pokemon and all this other stuff. And it got to the point where I beat the game multiple times, and in the year after, my mom put me in the Boys and Girls Club. I guess it was cheap or whatever, but I got kind of like this rep of being good at Pokemon. I don't know how it came about. My elementary school friend was also in the Boys and Girls Club, and a couple other friends that I made due to Pokemon. And that's another thing, is that I was never good at making friends. Liking Pokemon at that age, everyone loved Pokemon, so I was able to make friends just based off of that, and it was really awesome. We would just talk about the show, talk about the games, talk about the trading cards, and it was just awesome. It was just an awesome time to be a Pokemon fan around that time. And in the Boys and Girls Club, everybody had their Game Boys, and they would battle all the time, whether it was red, blue, later on of course gold and silver, battle, trade each other, and just enjoy the game, and I was one of the best at it. So that was always a great thing for me, just to know that I was one of the best at something, which was kind of the first time that's ever happened to me. And anyways, so back to the story. I kind of got a rep for being good at Pokemon, and I was telling DC this story the other day. This story where this random kid came up to me at the Boys and Girls Club, and he was like, "Hey, I heard that you were really good at Pokemon. I cannot beat this. Can you help me?" And he offered me $5 if I can beat the Pokemon League for him. So I checked out his team. He had Pokemon Red, and he had like a level 64 Charizard, and his next best Pokemon was the free Eevee they give you in Celadon. It was like level 28 or something like that. So I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. I caught 3 legendary birds and I caught 2 Victory Road Pokemon and taught them TMs and stuff, and I beat the Pokemon League for him and got the $5. But it was at that moment I was like, man, I'm really good at this, and I have never been the kid to really be good at something, you know, and it was something that I was passionate about, something that, you know, was getting me social and meeting other kids. So I thought it was really awesome. It got to the point where my mom also got me Pokemon Red and Pokemon Yellow. Now, of course, she didn't know that the games pretty much didn't have any differences, but all she knew was that it was keeping me away from the streets, because we did live in a bad neighborhood. And so me just playing those games, staying in the house, and that was, I guess, her way of keeping me, you know, safe and out of trouble. And I remember one day, it was around the time the Pokemon Yellow had came out. I forgot what I did, or maybe bad grades or something, but my mom was really mad at me, and I had my Game Boy Pocket in this little, you know, those backpacks that they're not really backpacks, they're like these bags with the strings on them, and you pull the strings and it closes, but like there's no protection in that thing. It's just a thin material, so there's no protection. So she got mad, and as soon as we got home, she flung the backpack across the living room. All you heard was bang, and she didn't know what was in there. And it was my Game Boy, and I knew it was my Game Boy, so I screamed. I ran to it, I opened the backpack, and the screen was completely cracked. And I was depressed for like a week and a half, and I guess she felt really bad. So out of nowhere, she came home one day with the teal Game Boy Color and Pokemon Yellow, and that was absolutely amazing. And like I was saying, it got to a point where batteries were no longer good for me, because I would run through them like crazy, especially since we used to get the dollar store ones. But anyways, there was like this AC adapter that she had lying around the house, and it had different tips on it. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. I'm pretty sure they don't even make these things anymore, but there was one that fit on the Game Boy Color. The only thing that sucked about it was such a cheap product that if you even moved, the Game Boy would turn off, because since there was no batteries in the Game Boy, it ran completely off that AC adapter, and if it got loose, it would just turn off. So just picture me in my room, still as hell, like I mean like a statue. I'm just still on my bed playing Pokemon Yellow for hours, like stiff and everything, man. And I would save at any chance I can get, and it was my way of getting away from the world, honestly. 7th grade came around, I believe, or 8th grade. I think it was 7th grade. Pokemon Gold and Silver came out, and those games kind of changed everything. You guys already know. There wasn't too much sentimental value, but those games, it was kind of a continuation of what was going on with Red and Blue, as far as, you know, me personal about the game. So I don't have too many memories about Gold and Silver, except for like my first shiny, which was a Red Oddish, by the way, and that's pretty much it. But then this is kind of where it gets real, because I was graduating from middle school. I got into high school. I got into one of the best high schools in the state. Well, actually the best high school in the state, one of the best in the country, apparently, according to them. I don't know if that's true or not. I had to get away from all my friends from middle school, because a lot of them, majority of them, did not get in. You know, it was a really tough school to get into. And I'm not saying I'm like a good student or anything, because I barely passed that school, but I did get in. So thing is, I didn't really have much friends in that school, and the elementary school kid that was my best friend actually got in with me. And when Ruby and Sapphire came out, this is kind of what changed everything. It came out late freshman year. Freshman year was completely miserable for me. Like, I mean, no friends. The school was hard as hell. I was failing classes, and I ended up going to summer school, actually. So yeah, now I'm in high school. I'm not even going to the Boys and Girls Club anymore, because now the city bus takes me home. You know, there was no van or bus that brought you from school straight to the club anymore, because you're not a middle school student, you're a high school student. So I had to take the city bus home every day. So I literally had almost no friends. I had like 1 or 2 friends, and it was just really bad. And when Ruby Sapphire came out, I got Ruby's version, and the game was just so refreshing, man. Just to start another Pokemon journey with all new Pokemon and new region, and the graphics look good, and Game Boy Advance and all that other stuff. But the thing is, I wanted to get into a point, since I was a high school student, where I wanted to, I guess, be cool, like be one of the popular kids, and of course none of them were playing Pokemon, you know. So it kind of sucks to kind of admit this, but I kind of shied away from my best friend. You know, he was my best friend just because, you know, he was still playing Pokemon obviously and stuff like that. But the thing is, the worst part is I was too, just at home. I don't know, it was crazy, but that's pretty much it. So I would just go home and just play Ruby pretty much by myself. That summer I was enrolled back in the summer program for the Boys and Girls Club, and all the same people were there, of course, and it was awesome because I felt like the man again. Because all my old friends were there. They all still played Pokemon Ruby. Of course they were like years younger than me, but that never mattered to me. It doesn't matter to me now. I'm much older than a lot of you guys, a lot of my subscribers and people that I play with right now. But you know, I felt like the man again, and we would just battle. And one great thing about Ruby and Sapphire was the secret bases. The secret bases allowed me to battle my friends even when they were not around. So I think you could store up to like 10 of them or something like that. So every single day, and I mean literally every single day, I would battle all 10 of my friends' secret bases. Meaning every single day I would turn on my Game Boy Advance and for at least an hour play Pokemon Ruby. And like I said, it used to take me away from the real world. It's to this day it kind of still does that. But the crazy thing is, Emerald did the same thing, especially with the Battle Frontier and all that. But then I graduated from high school and Pokemon Diamond came out. Now of course I bought Pokemon Diamond just because I was such a big Pokemon fan. And of course I'm giving you guys a shortened version of more stuff happened, but I'm trying to make this as short as possible because otherwise I'll be here for like a fucking hour. But so I bought Pokemon Diamond and I did play through it. Of course I did like it. But once again, you know, I'm starting to work. At that time is when I just about got my job at Walmart, and you know, I had a girlfriend and I had other things to preoccupy myself. And I actually did have friends that I graduated with that did not play Pokemon, obviously, because that's when I was trying to be a cool kid, you know, being someone I'm not and stuff. But so I did buy the game, I did beat it, I did enjoy it, but it was also the first time where I didn't buy the other game. I didn't buy Pokemon Pearl, and that was the first time I bought Red, even though my first was Blue. I did buy Gold, even though my first was Silver, and I bought Sapphire, even though my first was Ruby. And I also bought the third game for each generation. But this was the first time that I didn't. I was kind of outgrowing Pokemon at this point. I was almost 20 years old, and I felt like, you know, this was it. Even when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, I remember I was working at Walmart when they came out, and I would just, every now and then I would glance at the box, like in the glass video game case where you sell all the games, and I would just look at it and I'm like, damn, like I used to really enjoy these games and I don't even play them now. And it was just crazy that like a part of that was missing for me. And I never bought Heart Gold or Soul Silver, you know, and it was kind of like a distant past. Every now and then I would grab my Emerald version and do the Battle Frontier just to like try to beat the Frontier brains, and I did beat most of them, but that was pretty much it around that time. And then you know, years pass, a bunch of stuff happened in my life. I'm trying to shorten this as much as possible, but you know, I got with my current girlfriend and I was about to have my son. He was about to be born. After he was born, I got fired from my job at Walmart, and I had all this time to myself. Right before I got fired, this game called Pokemon Black and White had just been released. And once again, I would just look at the game being sold to people. You know, I would sell it to them, and it was, you know, obviously sold good and all that, but I just never paid too much attention to it. One day I was bored and the craziest thing happened. I stumbled upon YouTube. And this is kind of the same story I have in my Q&A. If you guys want to check that out, I'll leave another link here, I guess. I stumbled onto Shofu's channel, and it was crazy. I'd never know how to word this without sounding a certain way, but I never knew there were other people out there that were not, like, I don't want to cause an eruption here, so I'm trying to think of the right words. I'm just gonna use the word nerd here. I didn't know there were people out there that weren't nerds who can enjoy Pokemon, you know, that they liked rap music and all this other stuff, and it kind of blew my mind. And not only that, Pokemon Black looked like a really good game. It looked like a completely new game that has never been done before, so I picked it up, and my love for Pokemon was reborn. It really was with Pokemon Black. And I don't know if that's why I like Gen 5 so much. I am a Gen 3er, but Gen 5 is definitely a very close second. I had no job at the time. I would mostly just stay home and play Pokemon just like I did back in the day, and it was awesome. And I would watch YouTube videos and all this other stuff. And shortly after, I created my YouTube channel. And all of this was, like I said in the beginning, just to get me away from the real world. Because there were so many things that I weren't good at. There were so many times where I would mess up and I wasn't good. But one place where no matter what, I was always good and I would always succeed was in the Pokemon world. And to this day, if I ever need to get away, I just go ahead and turn on a Pokemon game. And that's pretty much the effect that Pokemon has had on me. It allowed me to create friends that I wasn't gonna be able to in the normal spaces. It allowed me to get away from the real world, and it was just fun and enjoyable, you know, and it would just preoccupy me, and I can't even explain in words how much this game means to me. So this is almost 20 minutes long. I know it's the Pokemon 20th anniversary, but I didn't want to make it this long. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the story and understand why this game means so much to me, even though I'm almost 30. Oof, wow, almost 30 years old, goddamn. This game I've been playing for almost 20 years, 18 years now, and it doesn't look like I'll be stopping anytime soon. So yes, I will be picking up Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching this entire long ass video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to sucker punch that like button, make it a priority, and with all that being said, it is about that time to fade to black.